Lars posted in an ad back in the day before the internet, and his post was, "I want to start a band, and I need help." And the person that answered that call was James Hetfield, and he answered that ad. And those two dudes went on to form Metallica. That's how they got started. So we intend this group to hopefully do cool things like that too. Man, it is just packed. We have the Olson brothers. We have, let's see. We got actually 3 Olson brothers. 2 of them are the Olson brothers, a band. Another Olson brother who's running Swedes in Kenosha. And then we have an Olson cousin who's running, let's see, Recess and Campus Lounge in Denver. And I kind of see you've been in this restaurant industry for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it since I got out of college, since I was 24, and that's about 16 years.
All right.
So I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. What was the process for you to get to where you're at now?
Once I got out of college, I started working in restaurants, and I just became immediate GM. And sometimes in restaurants with the general manager position, you get grinded 60, 70 hours a week. And of course, the natural progression is you start thinking you want your own place because you're already putting in the long hours. And so you start thinking, hey, I can do this. I'm already doing it, but how can I get the financing to make this happen? And even a bigger thing is, what kind of idea do you want to do? My inspiration for the beer garden, Recess Beer Garden that I created, actually came from a place in Minocqua, Wisconsin, called Otto's Beer Garden, where I was with my Uncle Eric. And just seeing a beer garden up there that's only open 3-4 months out of the year, we were both started talking. There was 300 days of sun in Colorado, and there's no beer gardens here. So that's where that inspiration came from, to go for a beer garden. And it took about 12 years to make it happen. So
this is your place, right? If I go to
Google, yep.
Type in the Recess Beer Garden. All right. So you're saying that this idea came from a little place up in Wisconsin, huh?
Correct.
That's news to me. And so I see here, best patios for eating and drinking in Denver. And
yeah, we won several awards. Probably the one we're most proud of is for 2 years in a row, we were the most popular destination in Denver for Uber and Lyft.
All right. So I gotta ask, Luke, you've been saying this for years. There is no plan B, right? That's your line?
Yes.
Are you still saying that?
Yeah, the no plan B started in about 2015 when I started playing shows for Walter.
But it's that like kind of compounding effort, that discipline to keep working on it and do it better and better and better, right? And you can really grow something. So I think that's cool what you guys are doing. Jon Olson here, he's the dude in the yellow hat, and so Jon here has got a pretty neat concept in Kenosha. Jon, tell us what you're doing there at Swedes.
We opened Swedes it's almost 4 years ago, based after my uncle, all of our Uncle Eric, the big Swede. So it's pretty much, the concept is kind of like a piece of up north back home in Kenosha. So the decor and everything, we got boats, we got old signage kind of from up around their cabin. My dad's went and picked a lot of it out in antique stores and this and that. So it's definitely unique for our town. There's really nothing else like it here. And yeah, so far after 4 years, we're going pretty strong here.
Just a tie in there, the same uncle, all of ours, Uncle Eric, that they've named Swedes after, is the same uncle I got the inspiration from and with up in Minocqua for a beer garden. So obviously it was very close for all of us.
Like, so what do you call Swedes? Is it a bar, tavern? What would you say?
We're just a bar. I guess, we're a very family orientated place. My aunt and uncle pretty much do most of the day-to-day operations. I was in charge of kind of designing and giving the place the look and feel. But yeah, my brothers have bartended, my cousins bartend. So it's pretty much just got that kind of hometown feel. And family vibe to it. So I think that's kind of what the success can be attributed to, is making people feel like they're family and friends when they come in here.
Is there any other bar in Kenosha that has a Northwoods feel to it?
I'd say not like ours. I mean, if you come in here, there's going to be old beer signs and things that there's no way you're going to see them anywhere else in this area. Some of them you're never going to see them anyplace. So we take a lot of pride in that aspect of it, of having a cool place and lots of things to look at when you're sitting down. And I think that makes people stick around and have a couple extra if there's cool stuff to look at.
Yeah, I think that contrast is cool, to do something different, kind of tying in, Owen, what you were saying there. So when you went into the neighborhood in Denver, and I guess I see it as low high. What do you call it?
Yeah, it's called Lower Highlands neighborhood.
Okay. So was there any other beer garden in that neighborhood?
There wasn't any beer gardens, period. A couple opened up right before we did, and they got pretty popular. So we knew we were onto something. 90% of the place is outdoors with fire pits and things like that. Just the concept behind that was, when people come to Colorado and think of Colorado, they think about being outdoors, and that's what people want to do. And even if you're in the middle of a big city, they want to be outside. That's the Colorado vibe and the Colorado feel.
From other folks that are playing music, or what kind of influences do you guys have on for your music?
Well, I think one thing is it's a lot of guitar, a lot of, cool electric guitars, and a lot of music today, at least pop music, it's kind of abandoned that classic formula. And that's kind of what we're doing. Like, basically the whole thing of the Olson brothers making music that our family would like, like this, we grew up on, like, how can we make songs that my mom, my dad are going to like, because that makes us happy. So yeah. And then me and Anthony singing together, I think it's, there's something about brother, the voices, like, we're kind of similar. So I think we're going to have a cool thing once more stuff.
Nice. You had a line last week, which was, you believe in community over competition, right?
Yeah.
You remember saying that?
Absolutely. I say it all the time.
Yeah. And that's just like stuck with me since last week, right? I have a kind of a question for everybody here to kind of think about, right? Like how come in other businesses it's about competition? Like, dude, we got to beat the guy down the street. And like, it seems to me that we all back off of that. And we all say, no, it's just about community. Let's help each other. But you're going to do better off. Do you guys agree with that?
I think there's a different, like, there's a new generation of, collaboration going on, because I think, to what Owen and Luke and what Jon were all saying, is that, like, we all need to work together to take this place, right, and bring it up together.
What ideas do you guys have? Like, like how do I make a law firm cool? How do I make it a thing? Like, that people like
Getting a law firm cool is the clientele you represent can help something like that. Cool things that you're doing like this is a good step. Getting on different, obviously the stuff that me and all of us Olsons here do is completely different than a law firm, but just things like this is a good direction to start, inspiring different people, and it's just a different look in general.
Yeah.
I think what's really unique about Sheboygan and like a lot of communities in Wisconsin, especially in the summer, there's a lot of just community events, like Memorial Day, 4th of July, where like everyone in the county is kind of like in one spot.
Yeah, you're onto something there, because I mean, when it comes to community and things like that, the grassroots technique is the only way to go. You got to get out there amongst the community and things like that, or else you're just saying words. So you got to get out there and meet with people, show your face, just like you said.
And to build on what Sarah and Owen are saying, I mean, it really comes down to building trust with your audience.
I kind of have a thing around the legal marketing. Like, how do you make a law firm cool? there's so many different ways, like on a community level, grassroots level, to do it. But like what I found in as far as like digital space, because that's primarily what I work in, that works the best is just what questions do you get from your clients all the time, and make videos or something answering those questions, because that shows people that you're listening to their problems, and you actually care, and you're just providing all these answers for free. You know, they're not paying you to answer these questions. So
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
And gave me some feedback after I think show 3 or 4, and the dude's like, like my business is just getting started. Like I don't really know if it's like really a real thing, and I messaged him back, and I got to share this with you guys too. I think absolutely not, man. Like I think you have to be entirely proud of what your idea is, because you're a leader in that idea. No one else thought of it, right? We've got people on the call today. No one thought of putting this Northwoods bar in Kenosha until Jon did that. Nobody thought of forming the band until the 2 brothers did that. Nobody thought of the beer garden in Denver, in Lohi, until Owen brought it there. So you're a leader in that. Nobody else has freaking thought about that. And then you got to double down on that. And you got to convince yourself it's really your own mind that you have to satisfy, that you're the best at that. You're the leader at that. You're the only person in the world that can carry that through. It really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. So if you have a really cool concept that you put together and you're implementing it and executing on your idea, that's like the most like that, then you've already made it. You have to make it in your mind first before you can make it in anyone else's mind.
When you're at that stage at the beginning there, writing down, you should always do a business plan, but getting down why you're doing it at the beginning is a huge deal, and why you decided to break off on your own, and why you want this idea. I've gone back so many times in my original business plan just to remember why I did everything. And it's important to go back and remember that stuff. So anyone out there, make sure you have that stuff written down, because as you get busy and as you grow, you start to forget sometimes why you did all this. So it's important to get that stuff down.
You want to share your why with us?
I mean, for me, I guess the why for me was I just, I'm just a thinker, and my brain doesn't stop. It's always being creative. It's always wanting to build and do things for my family, friends. And I know my business is day one in business school. They said, don't get involved with family and friends. My business is 100% based off of that. I know Jonathan's is, Luke and Anthony's is, and it's important because you get people around you trust. It's hard to work sometimes with family and friends, but you can trust each other, and you're building something together. And that's the main reason why I wanted to do it all.
Nice.
To make everyone around me's lives better, the best I can, even through the hard times. That's when it's important, the hard times, because you get through those and you can get through anything.
It's something that my family is passionate about. We love whenever we get together. The whole thing was sort of organic, I guess. I didn't have any layout of how I wanted it to look or anything. I started with first thing I put up was this canoe that I found, and kind of just everything kind of built around it. It took 4 years for the place to look like this. When we opened, I mean, there wasn't all this stuff on the walls, so it just took time. But our family, we love getting together, having drinks, and whenever we go up north or have a get together, we take pride in having good food, good drinks. So we just kind of wanted to. We knew we were good. I mean, that's something we're good at, and that we got that from Swede, from our uncle. He kind of showed us the way in those things. So we just kind of wanted to share that. We knew we could do it.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was a good time. I think one of your bullet points, Kyle, was patience. And anyone out there starting their thing, patience is key. You got to be patient and let it come. And that's more time that you have to really dial in what you want to do and get your ideas together. So thanks, everybody.